I caught a fish hook in my little brother's face.
Corner of his eye. So
How did that even
anyway,
happen?
You know, I wish there was a better way to put that. Like, I really do wish it was one of those stories where I lead off like it's not as bad as it sounds, but it was as bad as it sounds. There's no sugarcoating it. I put a fish hook right in my little brother's face. A couple summers ago, one of my first or second summers home from college, after work, I would go home, grab my little brother, and we'd go fishing. My little brother Wayne, he loves fishing and hunting a lot more than me, and so when I was home hanging out with him, we would go fish and hunt together. So we go fishing. We had this little honey hole, one of those neighborhood ponds, stocked pond that not a lot of people went to, and we pulled some huge bass out of it over the course of the summer. I go pick up Wayne, and normal thing, we go out to the pond and we're fishing, and we had pulled in some 4 or 5 pound bass that day. It was a pretty good day, and I'll never forget it. I was casting out, and usually you look back. If it's crowded, you look back before you cast. Well, I thought Wayne was 15, 20 feet over to the right, and I was right in front of a little tree. So I cast back like this, and you guys, for those of you who don't fish, you really have to put some serious oomph on it when you flick it out to wherever you're casting. So I'm trying to get across the pond to this little bed of rocks, and I whip back, flip my barrel, and as I whip forward, my pole just catches. Well, I finish the motion because I thought I just hit the tree. Well, as I finish, my line snaps, and I just hear this wicked scream like, ah, ah. I was in like middle school at the time. And I'll never forget just the velocity of the snap. I really thought I caught a branch. And I finished the cast, and I'm like, oh, my God. As soon as I heard the screaming, I'm like, oh, my God. Oh, my God. I turn around, and I'm not good in those situations. Like, I'm not the type of dude just to stay calm. Like, in my head, I'm like, holy shit. I just hooked him in the face. Did I hook him in the eye? Like, I'm running over. And thank God I didn't hook him in the eye, but I hooked him, like, right here in the eyebrow. So you can imagine, like, just, you're like, holy crap. Not only is there a fish hook lodged in my brother's face, but it was this close, centimeters, maybe less than centimeters, millimeters away from, taking his eye out. So I'm trying to process, like, thank God I didn't hit him in the eye. But at the same time, I'm like, holy shit, there's a fish hook in my brother's face. So I run to the car. I think I had a towel, and obviously, like, I'm not pulling it out. Like, it's lodged in there. So I put the towel over it, kind of make sure he's okay, and he starts to settle down. He's like, nah, I'm good. And I'm like, all right, cool. So we get in the car, pack up our fishing stuff. Obviously, fishing day's over. So we get in the car. On the way home, I call my mom because, normally you call your parents when you do something like that to your little brother. So I call my mom. Now, granted, on us, my brother and I had a history of prank calling or not telling Corey the truth. Every once in a while we'd call and like act like we hurt ourselves just to mess with her on the phone. So I call my mom as I driving my brother home. He's gushing blood out of his face, got a towel over his eyebrow that has a fish hook lodged in it, and he's like, could you call Mom? I'm like, I'm calling her now. She answers. I'm like, Mom, I don't want you to stay calm. I put a fish hook in Wayne's face. And she just says, shut up. I'm not listening to your pranks again. Boom, hangs up the phone. I'm like, oh, my God. Oh, my God. And Wayne's like, did she just fucking hang up? I'm like, she did hang up on us. She thinks we're lying again. And I'm like, this is our fault. But at the same time, seriously, like, I got your youngest son here. My little brother has a fish hook in his face. I'm trying to figure out what I'm supposed to do. And you're going to hang up on me? So I call her back, and I'm like, don't hang up. There's actually a fish hook in Wayne's face, and she's like, don't start that shit with me. Don't start. I'm not listening to your pranks again. And I'm like, all right, fine, fuck it. So I sent a picture of it to her while we're on the phone, a picture of the hook in his face, and she's like, oh, my God, get him home. I'm like, that's what I'm fucking doing. I need you to tell me, am I supposed to meet you at home? Should I go to the emergency room, doctor's office? Like, what are we doing? So we ended up going home. He got the fish hook out. I don't think he needed any stitches. It was just like a deep gash in his eyebrow, but damn, like, what a day. And I love that my mom didn't believe us. I think that was my favorite part of the whole thing. So, Wayne, if you're watching, I'm sorry I put the fish hook in your face. Thank God it didn't hit you in the eye. And to all the kids who like to prank call your parents, I guess there's a line. There's a certain point. I maybe leave it to like 10 prank calls and then stop. Because if you go to 10 or more, I guess they stop believing you when shit actually fucking happens. So, talks with Tom.
Taking shots by the lake till I can't even breathe no more, see no more. I was riding around town thinking to myself, is it gonna get easier? I'll be up and away up the street getting big, but I can't even breathe no more. What's it to me? What can I say? Taking shots by the lake till I can't even breathe no more, see no more.
Mic check. Mic check. There it is. That's that professional sound. I'll bring this a tad bit forward. I put a fish hook. 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 Okay.